Isn't it amazing how even in just 101 seconds of carefully curated, edited Netflix content, Meghan Markle's mask was still able to slip oh so obviously? As Nancy Sidley commented on the new trailer, the first look at With Love Meghan Series 2, Meghan Markle is doing her best impression of a woman
on the edge. That's how commentators are describing Meghan Markle after the disastrous debut of With Love Series 2, a project linked to her brand that's being branded a total flop.
I'm not on the edge, even though we really know she is. Sister Stephanie, where we're showing you the many times Meghan Markle's mask slips during part 2's trailer. She just can't keep it together for more than 5 minutes. Royal News Network was also taken by the official shots, pointing out, wow, the photoshopping and airbrushing here is insane. I definitely get a bit of an uncanny vibe here. So obviously fake. And look at this video put together by revealing the narc, which, according to Taz, commented on, saying, always aware of the camera. Someone else pointed this out, and now I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Why does she stick her tongue out like a lizard when she eats? She lays whatever it is on her tongue, then slaps it back in. So we're going to do a deep dive now on this trailer, exposing just how terrible the humiliating Netflix deal really is with royal YouTube sensation P. Diner. P. Diner, before we get into the details, your first impressions.
Yeah, hello, Dan. I just look at Megan as somebody who is trying really hard to be liked. When I watch it, I just feel like she is, yes, once again, overcompensating, really trying to show that she's nice, she's likable, her life is going really well. There's nothing wrong with anything in her surroundings, in her life with her husband and this Netflix deal. She gives this aura that she's trying to not show the true emotions that are happening with her. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel warm and fuzzy and inviting. It feels very contrived and not something that would draw you in to want to watch. You suddenly have this cringe factor when you watch it because you know underneath she is like the wolf in grandma's clothing, trying to make herself out to be this nice, humble person. But underneath it all, the stories that we've seen, everything we know about Megan outside of this show is nasty and ugly. So you can't really see what she's trying to curate for what she wants us to see because we already know the story about who she is. It just doesn't feel right. It's laughable that she thinks this is a good thing. And it really and truly is not.
Also, what's hilarious is People magazine, via the Meghan Markle PR machine, trying to convince us that this motley crew of Z-listers is in some way a coup for season 2. This is what they report. I mean, it might as well be a press release. While season 1 featured Meghan welcoming friends such as Mindy Kaling and Daniel Martin alongside culinary legends like Roy Choi and Alice Walters, season 2 promises an equally impressive lineup. It includes more celebrity pals like Chrissy Teigen. Oh yes, I've heard of her. The mega bully other than Meghan Markle in Hollywood. And Tan France. No, me neither. Renowned chefs Jose Andre, David Chan, Salman Nosrat, Christina Tosi and Claire Smith, as well as cultural influencers like Jay Shetty and Radhi Devluka. Season 2 will also feature Meghan's close friend and Pilates Platinum founder Heather Dorak, along with the return of Martin, her longtime friend, and makeup artist Jamie Kern Lima, the baby talk queen. A friend that Meghan joined in her first podcast appearance as a guest earlier this year also appears in the trailer. I mean, P. Diner, come on. Look, I'm maybe not as across the entertainment sort of Hollywood world as I once was, But genuinely, and some people can say I'm out of touch with some of these people. I think one of these dudes is in the Netflix series, you know, the Queer Eye Netflix series. But other than that, the only person there I've heard of outside of the world of Meghan Markle is Chrissy Teigen. And of course, she's most famous for probably being the second biggest bully in Hollywood behind Meghan Markle. These aren't great names, are they?
Yeah. Absolutely. These are not household names. These are not people that are recognizable just by seeing them. You don't know who these people are. Yeah, I'm sure they've got a following of their niche, people that know and follow them in their specific area of expertise, but they're not household names. And what you would expect from someone as a duchess from the royal family, someone who has ties to the royal family, your worth is who you're able to connect with. You can't connect with A-listers. It really says a lot about you and your brand and how well you're able to be perceived because you're not bringing in people that we know. Most people know who these people are. It's almost like you're like trying to learn, okay, well, who are they? What do they do? They're not household names to us, and I just think it's a slap in the face to someone like Meghan to show that she has no star power. She cannot bring in people that we would recognize, especially the people that she's been seen with in photos, because she's lost all of those friendships. These people don't want anything to do with her. So I think it speaks volumes, I think, more to her friendships that she thinks she has, because you should be able to call on the people that are these top names that you have once been associated with if you are truly rolling in those circles. And it shows that she's not in those circles because she can't even get these people, these household names on her show. It's embarrassing. It
Well, it
speaks
is.
more to the lack of star power for her than anything.
Well, it is because look at where we've even come from archetypes, right? So archetypes, that first podcast, okay, the Taylor Swifts and Lady Gagas of this world said hell no. But yeah, she got Mariah Carey, she got Paris Hilton, she got Serena Williams. That was the standard of guest that Netflix was expecting, not this motley crew of Z-list ne'er-do-wells who, by the way, if they really are lifestyle gurus, should go and actually teach Meghan Markle how to start treating people pretty well, other than, you know, what she actually does to
Absolutely.
them. Yeah. But Royally Sage pointed out,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
thought,
absolutely.
yeah, Royally Sage pointed out, I thought this was very clever, P. Diner, though, as well, to look into this. It looks like Netflix has actually had to significantly pull the strings to get people on this damn show. Because she pointed out most of Rachel's guests are already Netflix people. Because how else was she supposed to get guests when she can't even get invited to the smallest of Hollywood gatherings in private? Also, notice the lack of diversity. And if you look closely at this,
Hmm.
most of those guests, you see, are in some way connected to another Netflix show. Very interesting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yet again, that's how embarrassing this is the connections that you have are not people who are going to draw in audience for you. They already have their audiences on Netflix. And so Netflix is just reaching into its own database of people who they're trying to connect with, and they know they'll get a connection because they're already on Netflix. And also to the point about lack of diversity, it is shameful. It is shameful that Meghan Markle doesn't have not one person of color on this show, nor did she have really last year. She had the one lady from Paramount's wife. But other than that, she doesn't have women of color on her show. And I'm sure there are a lot of creators out there who would love to have exposure, a platform given to them by someone like Meghan, just because she has this name recognition. Why not extend that to someone who doesn't have such a big platform that is someone of color? And it's appalling to me that I thought about that. I think, why can you not have one person on that show?
Critics say Meghan's carefully crafted image is cracking under pressure, and the mask may finally be slipping. The With Love project was supposed to cement Meghan as a serious player in the entertainment industry. But the second season, brutal. Reviews have been scathing. Viewership numbers disappoint. And critics say it proves Meghan's star power isn't enough to save weak content. For a couple trying to survive in Hollywood after losing Spotify and scaling back their Netflix deal, this flop couldn't have come at a worse time. Insiders claim Meghan is showing visible cracks. At the debut, she appeared tense, uncomfortable, even excruciating, according to some in attendance. The glamorous, confident mask slipped, revealing a woman under immense stress.
For this second season that represents who you think you are, a woman of color, and you don't. And it speaks to the fact that she doesn't look at herself as a woman of color, clearly, because she's not trying to identify with anybody who represents that side of her mother's family. And perhaps even the cooking, the recipes, things that she could probably introduce around the culture of soul food or whatever, things like that. She just doesn't do it. She has no connection to it. And to the people that want to support Meghan, that are women of color, what do you have to say about that? Most importantly, you support someone that you say is a woman of color, but yet she does not connect herself to anything around the culture of being a woman of color. Absolutely not. It's
She was
appalling.
only a woman of color when she wanted to accuse the royal family of racism and bring them down. That was it. Also interesting, by the way,
Yeah.
at this point, no sign of Doria, no sign of Prince Harry. It looks like they filmed that one little cameo for series one. Remember when Doria turned up looking absolutely miserable and Harry did the half-hearted toast? And the Netflix executives obviously
Mhm.
said, well, look, we're going to have to put this into series one because otherwise it looks too weird, which means that there's none of that star power in series two. Okay, P. Diner, let's watch this. So we're going to look at the first few seconds uh, just without any sound, because what she's done quite craftily actually is use the song Rockin' Robin. Now, there's a reason behind this, P. Diner, because as you know, what it means is that YouTubers like you and I are unable to play it properly because of copyright restrictions. So I think it's very, very clear that she's used that song for a reason.
Mm. Yeah, I think Megan is trying to be clever in a lot of different ways, but look, with no sound and still get our meaning across just as easily with the song or without the song. I mean, all we have to look at is Megan's unauthenticity and just really come to a clear a narrative around who this woman is. And yeah, nothing's going to stop us from being able to show the shortfalls of this woman. She's not clever in any way. Go ahead and try, but we can still do what we need to do without the sound.
Yeah, although what my team has done, because they're so clever, P. Diner, I would have no idea how to do this, but they have actually taken out the Rockin' Robin. Okay, so we can look at the rest of it with
Mm-hmm.
sound now, just without the Rockin' Robin. And in the first little section, we get the introduction of the woman who she clearly views as the superstar bully in chief, Hollywood's biggest bully, introducing Chrissy
Mm-hmm.
Teigen.
The idea of spending time together and finding new ways to show people you care. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I could do this every day.
Let's get creative and learn something new. Nice and done.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so she's gone down the pottery path too, the whole ghost thing. But I find it quite hilarious that the big innovation there seems to be buying some bread from a sort of posh bakery and laying it out on the table. But she's got Chrissy Teigen, the big star, also doing something a little bit creative. Clearly, Chrissy is the big get, which says a lot, doesn't it?
I mean, it says a lot about Megan and her character because she is aligned with someone who has done something horrible, many horrible things to young people online. And you talk about trying to protect children online, and this is your headliner, your guest that you want to highlight on your show. That just shows you how out of touch this woman is, because we all know Chrissy Teigen is not somebody who you should be proud of, especially when you are trying to fight things online against children and, the dangers of online, social media. And it's just so appalling that Megan is so out of touch with so many different things, and that there are people that still align with her and think that she's doing something good. But when you peel back the layers, you see, look, she's aligned with somebody who wanted a young girl to unalive herself. But yeah, you're going to try to fight for parents and their children. That's how Megan uses it all as a money maker. There's no real authenticity around the things that she tries to do. Because if there were, she would have nothing to do with Chrissy Teigen, considering her past and what she has done. She's the poster child for somebody on social media with the harms of social media. But you're gonna have her on your show? That doesn't even make sense. There's a lot there when you peel it all back about Megan. And that's what we're here to do, Dan. We're here to peel back all the layers of this onion of Megan, to see how she is not a real authentic person. She's shallow, she's hollow. There's no substance because you find her doing things like this. And no person is really trying to fight for children is going to have someone like Chrissy Teigen on their show, not considering what she's done to young girls and boys for that matter. It's
100%.
it's disgusting.
They're the deal or no deal bully girls of Hollywood, aren't they? Who can't believe their luck, but are horrified about the fact that they've been exposed for their true behavior. Their true colors have come out. And I also find it fascinating, by the way, that Chrissy Teigen's stock has fallen so far that she is the only household name who actually believes that doing this show will benefit her, because all of the others who actually might be, at least acquaintances with Meghan behind the scenes. I'm talking about Kerry Washington, Jessica Alba, Gayle King, those type of people. They've run a mile. They have run a mile. And you really notice that in the next little part of this trailer, Pete Diner, because you get the joyful days being discussed, but the joyful days equal the return of the Z-listers, the gay makeup artist sycophant Daniel Martin, and the baby-talking podcaster sycophant Jamie Kern-Lima.
I'm so glad you came to show me how to do this. Is this working?
Today's about getting out of your comfort zone.
I have no idea where to start. Everybody should have one of those at home.
You think so?
This is one of the most joyful days.
So come.
What I loved there, P. Diner. This is one of the most joyful days. I've never heard someone sound so miserable. That's the thing. This is a show that is desperate to create a sense and a feeling of joy, but you can tell the people there, they're not enjoying it. It's a chore. No joy comes through the camera for me, and you could hear it in that woman's voice.
Yeah, there really is no joy. It's so curated and so overly produced that you don't feel like you're really watching people who are connecting in an authentic way. It feels like they're trying to hit their mark, say their talking points, do the things that they've highly rehearsed so that they can make everything look magical and pretty. And while it does look very polished in terms of media, when you look at the people that she has, the connection that she is supposed to have with people, for joy that she's supposed to have on this show, that doesn't look like joy to me. It just looks like a bunch of fake people, fake smiling for the camera to act like they're doing something that is interesting for people to watch. You're not doing anything that really connects with people, because we can see the rehearsal behind it. We can see how you are trying to put together the things you've rehearsed, and you're just not really feeling like you're doing something that would draw people in to want to do it. I've seen many shows similar to what Megan is doing, and I can't tell you how many times I could not stop watching the episodes because the people were they would say certain things that were real and connecting to their relationships with the people on the show. But these people are making sure they're so polished that you don't really feel like you're watching something that brings you to this connectedness of joy watching. You're watching how they're just so fake, and you're like, I don't want to be in that room. I don't want to be there doing these little with the pottery and the bowl things that she was tying. Like this is something that doesn't even draw my interest because you're just trying to be too pretty and perfect. And I'm really connecting to that part of who you are rather than the substance of what you're trying to talk about. I don't know. I think it's hard to explain, but certain people, they just have that it factor where they draw you into what they're doing. Megan doesn't have
Oh, I
that
so
power.
agree. Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
just
complete
flat.
contrast, I think, P. Dina, between her and both, if you look at a very old school legend of this game, Martha Stewart, but if you look at someone who has
Mhm.
actually come to this very recently, Pamela Anderson, you believe their authenticity, their personality. And even though they're very different, you're drawn in, you're totally captivated by what
Yes.
they're doing. And you believe it because you believe that they are passionate about this. Whereas when I see Meghan, I
Yeah.
feel like she doesn't really believe in this. I don't even think she enjoys eating. I certainly don't think she enjoys any of the little knick-knacky stuff. I do believe she has a passion for alcohol, actually. That's when she's happy. And it feels like
Mhm.
I've tried to cut down the number of shots of her with alcohol in this trailer, at least.
The phrase woman on the edge has been used by critics to describe her demeanor, as if she knows her Hollywood credibility is hanging by a thread. For Meghan and Harry, the entertainment industry isn't just a side gig. It's their survival strategy. Without royal duties, without family connections, their entire brand depends on projects like With Love. If Meghan can't deliver hits, Hollywood won't wait. And once studios lose faith, the money dries up fast. This isn't just a bad premiere. It's potentially a reputational disaster. The mask slipping idea is powerful because Meghan has spent years cultivating a flawless image. Perfect smile, perfect speeches, perfect answers. But when things go wrong, the polished facade gives way to frustration, nerves, or even anger. That's what critics say happened here.
And then the trailer concludes, Pete Diner, and of course you've got Netflix thinking, "Oh God, we've got to get a Harry thing. We've got to get something Harry related in," and so they come up with this very lame moment.
That's delicious. Woo! Little things like this make me so happy.
We don't need to make a salad. Let's just go and eat cheese. You know that's my life dream. I love these moments of discovery and beauty. So let's be curious together. Do you know who doesn't like lobster?
Who?
My husband.
And you marry him? Anyway?
So that's the best I've got. That little moment at the end. Although I would have to
I
question
tell you.
marrying someone who didn't like lobster. I'm sort of with that chef there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, come on. Megan will try to say anything to, put Harry in the middle of some kind of talking point. But we've seen the headlines, okay? We kind of understand the situation of this marriage. And, personally, I think if he is your husband and he really is supporting you and he really is the draw to your connection to being high profile, why isn't he there? Why is he not really there in a way to support you? I think that says a lot because I can tell you right now, 100%, if my husband was the draw for me to get eyeballs to watch a show and he was the person connected to the royal family, my husband would be on that show with me doing something, even if it's just for a few seconds, a few minutes. He's going to be there to support me. But I find it very revealing that he's not even there to support her, even in the trailer, because I think the trailer really entices people to want to watch the show. So if you don't see him in the trailer, I doubt he's going to be anywhere near the show. And that's just wrong because your husband should be supporting you, especially now, because we know this is like the end of the line for you in terms of your contract, your Netflix deal. You should be pulling out all the strings to try to get things going, to making things be better than last time. I think he should have been there. He should have been in the trailer. He should have done a whole episode with discovering things with my husband. Like, look what we found out. Look what we did together as a couple. Like, you can't have one episode of that. That speaks volumes to your relationship with your husband. Because your husband's not feeling you like that. So what do you have to do? You have to name drop. So because that's the best you can do. Okay. So it's quite revealing yet again, Dan.
Very revealing. I also thought it's really revealing, P. Dinah, how she's going for a very particular stereotypical camp gay guy to try and up her credibility in the world of gay. Now, speaking as a gay man, P. Dinah, I don't reckon this is going to work. I think we totally see through Meghan Markle. I've never felt like there's a big gay following for Meghan Markle. She hasn't been that type of person at all, but she wants to go for it. And so I think it's, is it Tan France? Is that the guy from Queer Eye? I think it's him. Who, or maybe it's the other guy, Jay Shetty. I don't know. I get them confused. But anyway, he comes and he's like, I've got goosebumps. And what I found so funny about this is you can just imagine Daniel Martin, who up until now has been Meghan's only gay sycophant, sort of shooting him the evil eye and thinking, keep away from my girl. Watch this.
Okay. Off just what I want to make or things I want to share. This looks fantastic. There are easy ways to show up lovingly.
That actually has given me goosebumps. That is so lovely.
Oh, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't given you goosebumps and you're pathetic for going down that path.
All right. Just say your lines, hit your points. You know, you're not really trying to say you have goosebumps. Come on now. This is all contrived. And, I can see a lot of drama behind the scenes with that. Daniel, I'm sure, is very overprotective of his relationship with Meghan. I mean, he's the makeup artist. He's getting a paycheck. He doesn't want someone coming in on his paycheck and someone that's going to possibly befriend Meghan in a way that would draw less attention to him. I mean, I can't believe she even brought him back for another season or the second season. I just think she's overcompensating with things that really reveal that you have nobody. I mean, you should not. I don't see why someone's makeup artist is a part of their show. You are the behind the scenes person. You are not in front of the camera kind of a person. Your Rolodex is really empty when you are trying to bring out your makeup artist two times, okay? That Megan, look, girl, you're going down. She's trying with every possibility to try to keep herself revived up in this sinking ship. And we see it by the choices of the guests, what they're doing, just the no feeling, no connection to everything. It is just not going to work out. It's a wrap, Meghan Markle. It's a wrap for you, girl.
Totally.
And she's trying real hard.
The thumbs down
Yes.
are overwhelming. Okay, but someone
Yes.
online just put together a tiny little selection of the comments on YouTube, Pete Dinah. This is just a tiny random selection. Look at this. I wish we could file a class action lawsuit against her for emotional distress. Netflix, this long, long, long national nightmare better be over in 2026. Please do that thing where you interrupt someone in the middle of her sentence to tell her you are Sussex now, even though you slandered the family who bestowed the title, which the family would now have to pry out of your cold, dead fingers, even though you are American, are people to whom titles are meaningless and never bother to pursue British citizenship. There are the moments worth highlighting, folks. This is as good as it gets. Let that sink in. This is meant to be enticing, this beige trailer of empty nothing. And that was just a random selection of the comments, P. Dinah. So it feels like people have had their say. Although not if you believe Narinder Kaur, because she's saying of this Netflix deal, P. Dinah, let me show you this. The fact is Meghan has won and she will continue winning. People love the real King and Queen of Hearts. And this was sparked by the fact that Jenny Bond, formerly of the BBC, went on GB News and tried to say that we all had to eat humble pie. Watch.
The fact of the matter is, they have won. Meghan has won. And we have to eat humble pie.
I mean, that's bullshit, isn't it, P. Dinah? Given that actually, if you look at the New York Times and Hollywood Reporter and everyone, they're backing up what we're saying. This is not a good deal.
Absolutely, girl. Ain't nobody eating no humble pie. I'm not eating no humble pie. This girl's everything has been downgraded. Okay, have you seen the guests for season 2? Nothing's been highlighted and elevated and going up. It's all going down. I don't know what this woman is talking about. Clearly, she doesn't understand anything about this whole statement that Megan put out as a fake statement around, yeah, we're doing another deal, it's been renewed. No, it hasn't. That's just a bunch of lies. And that's the thing, Dan, why so that this is why we have to keep speaking out against Megan, because she will try to gaslight people, she will try to lie her way through success. But we're gonna keep it real for her. You're not lying your way to anything that's going to show this is getting better for you. We see the real deal. We read the fine print. This woman should have read the fine print. This is a downgrade. This is no one's eating humble pie. I'm sorry. She doesn't understand how this works. This is a first look. Okay. If anything, she needs to look at how they're, like I said, this is a ship going down. And that's exactly what Megan knows is happening. That's why she looks so incredibly desperate in this show. I mean, every single moment she is smiling ear to ear because she's begging, please like me, please like me. I have to make success right now. No, you're not going to do it, Megan. And we see it.
Oh, indeed. And the latest P Diner, by the way, is this trailer has 1,900 likes, 15,000 dislikes, and perhaps most worryingly for her, given that Netflix has 31.4 million subscribers, just 148,000 views after 21 hours. There really just isn't that much interest.
The mask slipped, and the public got a rare glimpse of the real Meghan Markle. Look, one bad show doesn't end a career. Plenty of stars bounce back from flops. But Meghan doesn't have the luxury of failure. Every stumble is magnified because she's Meghan Markle, the woman who walked away from the crown to conquer Hollywood. If her projects keep failing, the narrative of Woman on the Edge will only grow stronger. And Hollywood is ruthless. Sympathy isn't part of the deal. So what do you think? Was Meghan's tense appearance at the With Love Season 2 debut just nerves, or proof the mask is slipping? And is Hollywood already done with her, or can she recover? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you enjoy royal and celebrity deep dives, and don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered takes. Because in Meghan's world, every project is make or break.